be on the safe side. So some hacking was needed. We did some asterisk changes, so as to, for all the machines, understand where are the SIP user agents. We had to hack this part of asterisk. Also, transferring a call, at least when we started to work with asterisk, was always a reporting nightmare. So it was very difficult to understand from asterisk CDRs what happened with a transferred call. And we changed that quite a lot. Now, if you go into our reports, you can see exactly what was the call path, including the pieces, the recording pieces. So if a call gets answered by someone and it is attended transfer to another one, you have the first part of a call recorded, the second part of that attended transfer, and then the third part, all in the same file. Okay. Also, several fixes to work under heavy loads. New set of applications for asterisk, mainly CTI integration, web services, SOAP interfaces, and last but not least, we said bye-bye to APPQ. APPQ is an application inside asterisk that handles queues, and it doesn't scale very well. It's been out there for already 6-7 years, and I hate it. What can I say? Most of my boldness is because of APPQ, and we decided to bury it and make a completely new queue subsystem, which is IVACD. What is it? It's an asterisk independent daemon running on the ACD. It has an XML-based API, so the media servers work with the ACD, basically saying what's going on. Oh, here I have a new call, and the ACD says, fine. Oh, this call is going to the queue, and the ACD says, okay, what is this call priority? Oh, this call priority is called. So with this kind of setup, we are able to scale. You just have to put more and more media servers, and they will start to communicate with ACD. And mostly important, the ACD will have a global sense of all the calls in the system, of all the agents logged in the system, and he will be able to handle the call distribution in a way that you need to be able to handle in a 2,000 call setup. So 0 mutexes, no contentions, no deadlocks, and that's why the load on the server is very, very low. We have a real-time profiling and performance control, so we can debug it and analyze performance very, very easily. And also we have what you don't see very often. It's a real-time service level calculation. And let me show you that. So this is it, as Michael Jackson would say. This is it. This is the operation in Brazil. I'm logged in through our VPN, and this is the queue, the main queue. We have like 8 people waiting now on the queue, 14 seconds. We have 102 agents talking and 0 agents available. Okay, and the service level is 96.8%. What does that mean? It means that 96.9% of the calls were answered in less than 30 seconds. So if you walk there at the call center, you will see huge LCD monitors showing exactly that, because everyone must be aware of that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, this is what I showed you, real time. We also have an agent panel where you can see what every agent is doing. This is a snapshot of our visual IVR editor. Okay, what else have we done? Testing. Testing is fundamental. We have a team only dedicated to testing. So every night we build a new version, and we have a setup with virtual machines that the last development guy, when the last development guy leaves the office, he picks the nightly build, distributes into this cluster, and let 300 calls start until the next morning. Okay, we've done a general testing script tool that we are considering to, we've been talking with Legion to integrate this into Asterisk. And what we are looking at, what we are willing to avoid at all costs at our customers' premises, right? Deadlocks, so the PBX freezes, you have to reboot the PBX or restart the software. Memory leaks, dropped calls, or high load. So these boxes really, oh, why didn't you buy like a small machine to, you have so much capacity? Well, you never know. My customer may want to increase its capacity from one day to the other. So it's better to be really on the safe side. So this is something interesting. So if we've been working with Asterisk, as I said, like for 7 years, and it's quite a mature product right now. But we ran into some software problems in the past, but now it's okay. And the interesting is that when the software works, you start to see hardware problems. So when you raise the bar of your call center scalability and availability, you start to see problems that you didn't see before. So what we had 3 outages in 11 months of operation, a total of 3 hours, scattered 3 hours throughout the operation. First of all, an electrical failure, and I call it the UPS that was not. So these guys, they bought like this 50, 100,000 UPS with a generator attached to it, but the moment they tried to use it, it didn't work. So so this a point here is that when you buy an UPS, be sure to test it, okay? So the second issue was a RAID failure. So we bought all these machines, and especially the ACDs with RAID 5, right? For people that are not familiar with that, RAID 5, you have redundant disks. So if one disk fails, the other one kicks in, and you are much safer, right? Wrong. The RAID failed. So I would be much better with these machines without RAID, because the moment that I needed the RAID failed. And the last outage, and this was outage, and this was outrageous, was a hard disk controller failure. And we started to see this controller failure all around our customers, because we usually use Dell as our hardware provider. And we started to see one week a hard disk controller failure on one machine, and the other week a hard disk controller failure on another machine that was bought more or less at the same time. And if you ran the testing tool on the machine, it would show that this was a hard disk controller failure. And the manufacturer started to say that CentOS, which is the Linux flavor that we use, was not a platform that they supported. That we should either install Windows or Red Hat Enterprise. So be very careful about what your hardware vendor supports, because it may. They changed the controller, okay? But they on the legal side, if they wanted not to change it and just leave it broken, they could. That's scary. So it usually takes 99% of the downtime to figure out what's going on, and like 1% to fix it. So this is something that if you have the right tools to troubleshoot, you're good. Okay, what about the future? We're going to focus, as always, on stability and troubleshooting. Focus on expanding interfaces to our ACD and third-party integration. So if you have a CRM, or we are providing you APIs to integrate with our solution. The current database is not perfect. We'll have to change. We use MySQL replication, as I said, but it really doesn't work. It sucks sometimes. And when it can I say that in English, or? Okay. So and when you have a replication problem, you are in big trouble, because, well, this call center isn't 24/7. So if replication stops, you kind of reroute things and you work on your master, and then at 8 p.m. everybody starts to work to build up replication again. But this is unacceptable on a 24/7 environment. So we'll have to somehow change that in the future. We had this, I didn't mention this replication issue because it was part of the electrical failure. Okay, when the power came back, the replication was not working very well. And also choose your hardware very carefully. So work with your hardware vendor, work only with brands that you really trust and can provide you a good service. And now I'm open for questions. Please. Yes. Well, you know, at the beginning of Asterisk, I lost some customers in Brazil because I couldn't support MFCR2 very well. So the question, let me repeat the question. Why are we using a specialized gateway to convert between MFCR2 to SIP? And the answer is that we didn't find that the channel drivers that are available for Asterisk are as reliable as needed for our needs. I frankly believe there are things that are much better done in hardware than in software. Let's say echo cancellation. I lost, like 7 years ago, there was no echo cancellation card in the market. We tried to do echo cancellation by software. I lost like $2 million business opportunity in Brazil because of echo. So now, two things that I believe must be done by hardware: echo cancellation and protocol, especially protocols that use tones. That's why we use this media gateway. Another question? Yes, please. You? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes. This is it. So it's redundant. It has a certain capacity to recover, but in certain situations the call just drops, and the person would have to call again. And we are looking. We were very impressed, by the way, by the speech this morning. And what we want to do as soon as possible is to port our ACD solution to this new architecture of Asterisk, because we don't want to handle with what someone else is taking care for us, right? Yes, yes. So the question, I'm not sure that I can remember all of your question, but you were asking about the setup. How much did we develop regarding the clustering and the replication, right? And the answer is yes. We did some development. Yes, please. Okay. Oh, so you're not talking about agent monitoring? Okay. Okay. So every one of the media servers record up to 120. They handle and they record up to 120 calls. Okay. The moment that the call ends, there is a daemon, a process on the report machine that grabs that call and brings that call to the reporting machine, where it will become available through a specialized search tool. Okay. We use Mix Monitor to record it using Wave 49 GSM. Right. Yeah, I record on the disk. We record on the disk directly.